Welcome to Emotional Intelligence Unpacked. What is EQ? What is emotional intelligence? Known as EQ, thoughts and emotion are the building blocks of performance. When thoughts and feelings are integrated intelligently, we get the most out of ourselves and have the greatest potential to influence others. A high level of EQ helps us to figure out what others want and need, determine what we really want and need, find ways to align what we and others want, stay calm under pressure, be the kind of person others want to be around, using our emotions to energize us for achievement. That's what emotional intelligence is. Benefits of EQ. Peak job performance requires a couple of things: strong technical skills, strong emotional and interpersonal skills. So high EQ executives add 127% more to the bottom line than average execs. So retention of individuals increases from 50% to 96% when we have great EQ in an organization. So unlike IQ, which is about intellectual intelligence, EQ will continue to develop long throughout your lifetime. And as you grow, you develop. So it's a really important part of improving your leadership as a top executive. So let's unpack it. Let's dig deeper. Because when you look at emotional intelligence, the hierarchical model developed by Daniel Goleman back in 95-98 to measure the emotional intelligence was a real turning point, I think, in leadership. It was your ability to understand your self-awareness, your self-management, your social awareness, and relationship management. So let's unpack it. Let's unpack what that really means. So when you think about it, it actually all makes common sense. But let's go through each of them so that you can really unpack it in your own mind. So self-awareness, emotional self-awareness, your ability to identify your emotions. Self-confidence, your positive belief, feelings, and thoughts about yourself. Accurate self-assessment, how well you know yourself, your emotions, and your triggers. What about self-management? Let's look at that. Self-control, your ability to resist temptation and impulse to act. Trustworthiness, your ability to be relied upon as honest and truthful. Conscientiousness, your desire to carry out work thoroughly and of a high standard. Adaptability, the ability to adjust your emotion, thoughts, and behavior. Achievement orientation, your desire to strive for goals and accomplishment. Initiative, your ability to assess, make decisions, and take action independently. Let's look at social awareness. Empathy, really important one. The ability to understand and share the feelings of others. Service orientation, your ability to anticipate and meet the needs of others. Organizational awareness, your ability to read a group's emotional currents, power relationships, and identify influences, networks, and dynamics. Last, relationship management, developing others, your ability to foster development in others. Influence, your ability to persuade as an individual or group. Communication, your ability to effectively articulate your message and to be understood. Conflict management, your ability to manage conflict situations. Visionary leader or visionary leadership, your ability to inspire and influence others with a vision. Team and collaboration, your ability to work well with others. Change catalyst, your ability to drive and implement change. Building bonds, your ability to connect well with others. So there it is, unpacked a little bit deeper. What does it mean? Well, it means that you have strengths and weaknesses, and if you identify your strengths and weaknesses, what do you have and what do you need? So let's have a conversation, and this is probably an important one to have a conversation with your coach. So let's find out your emotional intelligence. With the attachment that we have with the video, I want you to download that and print it out and start to go and rate yourself out of 10 for each of the emotionally intelligent traits that we've identified. And then perhaps take the opportunity to talk to a team member, a leader, a mentor, or a coach, and get them to rate what they think out of 10 your emotional intelligence skills for each of these would be. It's a really good, insightful way to understand what you have and what you need. Because if you work on what you need, you can get that growth. And if you strengthen what you have, you can really achieve a lot more. So quite simple, but it's really powerful that you understand what your emotional intelligence are. So when you have this awareness, you can actually go and get tested officially. Here's 4 examples. The Trait Emotional Intelligence Questionnaire, which is a really good one. The Emotional Quotient Inventory, EQI, bar on, which I've done and used. The Maya Solvay Cursor Emotional Intelligence, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And the Emotional Apture Measure. Each have their own slant on it, but one you can use for recruitment or competency assessment or retention, leadership development. Certainly trait and emotional inventory, great for around recruitment, and I like emotional quotient for around team building. The Mayo one, certainly I like that around competency assessment. But spend some time talking to people that are qualified in doing the assessment and find out what you're looking for from an organizational point of view in your team development, because a qualified person will be able to encourage you. And there's lots of information online around a lot of, and there's more emotional intelligence assessments than the 4 we've got here. But you can certainly get a lot of information and make an assessment on what do you hope to achieve by doing a test. Because yeah, they certainly cost a little bit of money, but the end result is it can be a massive return on investment for your organization. Okay, so I hope the video helped. It's an insight into emotional intelligence, and we'll just unpack it a little bit more so you have some deeper learnings. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.